Hi guys, Dr. Boris here. Welcome to our channel. Welcome to the Ask Dr. Boris TV YouTube channel.
Like, follow, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, guys.
Perfect. We drop videos and fresh content every week right here. I'm Dr. Boris, chiropractor, and been doing this for 33 years. Here in California, licensed in good standing, and
I'm Krista Booth, a single mom of 2 boys and a realtor. So, are you going to give us a little disclaimer?
well, yeah, I mean, this is normal. Listen, I am a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. We say this because everyone is different, so I want you to consult your healthcare provider if anything that you hear on our videos sound remotely familiar, okay? We're not diagnosing, treating, or giving you a prognosis on anything. That being said, giving you this 33 years of experience and knowledge. Enjoy, and let's get with the subject. Get on it and question.
All right, so I was wondering about mental health, but more in the way that what is mental health, and can I just take a mental health day tomorrow and not have to work because I need to go swimming?
Do you want to get paid for that day?
Yes, I do.
Does your company pay for it?
Yes, I'm hoping so.
Then do it.
Well, no, because now I'm doing real estate, but yes, if
Okay.
I had a traditional job, yes.
But I get you. Here's what I suggest. Instead of calling it mental health, because it can sound a little, clinical, and may be interpreted as, having conditions that are more serious than or severe than just trying to have relaxation and feeling well, that well-being feeling that we get, in our minds. So get a day so you can be happy.
I want to be happy, so I want to go swimming and surfing. So I need a mental health day.
I'm glad you mentioned that because, see, we have 4 hormones in our body and produced by our brain, most of them, that are called the happy hormones. So you want to know who
Happy
those
hormones?
are? Yes. Do you want to know? We want to know those.
Are the happy hormones
sure.
consisting of swimming and shopping?
Well,
and
those
drinking,
are part of the activity. Ooh, listen to you. Those are part of the activities that help you produce those happy hormones.
Right.
You want to know which ones they are?
Happy endorphins?
Well, that's one of them. Okay, so serotonin, and not in this particular
Serotonin.
Order. Serotonin is one of them. You mentioned endorphins.
That's the second
Also,
one.
oxytocin
That's the third one.
and dopamine.
And dopamine, fourth one.
So, in order to maintain a level of well-being in your mind, mentally, you want to have these things to balance. Think about these guys as the 4 of them working together, okay? You don't want one to be too little or too much.
So you're saying the 4
together.
4 together, we need to balance them off in order to have mental health?
Correct. Well-being.
Mental well-being.
So
Okay.
here's what happens. Most of these have common denominators in order to naturally increase and maintain levels of happy hormones.
So how do we maintain happy hormones?
Well, okay, activities of daily living.
Okay, so action.
Here's what I'm going to give you all of them kind of in general, and then we can discuss some more a little bit of
By action,
which
you
ones.
mean exercise?
Exercise.
Okay.
Exercise is one of the most important ones. Now, circling back to some of the subjects that we have spoken or talked about in the past, we want exercise, then you want to eat well, and then you're going to be tired and you want to sleep. So
Okay,
you want to have good
exercise,
sleep.
eat, sleep,
So good nutrition, right?
nutrition.
All right.
That's the 4.
Exercise, sleep, and then we want to bring in the social interaction that we so need. That's why we are
Socializing.
perfect. We are a gregarious society.
Right.
Human beings have the need to socialize. Now, let's talk about socialization and bring oxytocin to the discussion. Reason I say that is because one of the ways for your brain to produce it is to socialize.
Okay.
Remember when we talked about the blue zones and the centenarians?
Right.
The guys or the people who lived to be 100, all of them had interactive social gatherings. Remember that?
Well, I think you were saying they were hunting, so hunting is social.
Well, that could be, but mostly they all got together at night and they
Yeah.
prepare their food and enjoyed them together.
I had an afternoon fiesta.
Right. No, the afternoon siesta will
Siesta.
go on the rest part, but the dinners,
Right.
they will all get together and have a good time.
So you're saying for mental health, I can't just take a mental health day. I need to be socializing.
Well, mental health is achieved, or mental well-being is achieved on a daily basis.
So I can't stay home and watch Netflix. I need to be out
No, as a
drinking
matter of fact,
champagne with my girlfriends.
that's one of the things that we recommend you don't do. Okay, is
Okay.
limit the time that you waste on your phone sending texts, doing TikTok, unless you're watching us,
I don't do
and TV. But you got to limit it. You got to write down the amount of time, and this is a suggestion, that the time that you're going to spend on your devices.
Right.
Limit
So
your
you need to
social
exercise.
Uh-huh.
And socialize
Socialize, correct.
instead of watch TV at home,
And
sitting on your butt.
and being inactive, right?
Right.
So
Okay.
now, in terms of oxytocin, one of the things that you already get is that you have children.
Yes.
Do you hug your children?
Yeah, I
Do you
have
kiss
all
them?
the time. Yes.
You tell them you love them?
I tell them I love
And
them.
how does it feel when they come to you, look at your blue eyes, and say, "Hi, Mom, I love you"? Does that make you feel like,
They tell me all the time because they're boys. So,
Well-
oh, I love you, Mom.
see, right there, your brain, in this instant, just produced a whole bunch of oxytocin. Okay? So, your mom, your dad, when you interact with them, that is part of oxytocin producing
So
activities.
family is important.
Exactly. Also, you're not expected to be, with your family all the time.
No.
So I do know you interact with your girlfriends, and you guys take girls' night out,
Yes.
right? So when you go out and you're sharing your wine and laughing and having a good time and dancing, that's also producing
Right.
oxytocin.
And I'm also moving and exercising because I'm dancing.
There you go. So let's wrap the oxytocin up.
Okay.
You want to have interaction with people you love.
Right.
Friends, you also want to have laughs. You want to be able to relate emotionally with them. And these positive, love-filled emotions are going to help your brain produce
Right.
oxytocin. You know one of the first times you had oxytocin?
When I was born.
Correct. See, you're so smart. When your mother had you,
Yeah.
and then the doctor or the nurse gave you to her to hold, and then you nursed, that was the very first shot of oxytocin that you, unbeknownst to you as a baby, had your brain produced.
Right.
And guess what? That bonds you. That is the moment where you and your mother became bonded forever.
I know. As soon as she saw me and I was a goofy little baby, she was like,
She
"Oh."
goes, "Oh my goodness, I love this baby." So bonding.
Yes.
That's basically it. And here's another way, okay? And this was probably one of the most fun to have.
What are you
The
going to say?
SEX, and actually
Oh,
it
God.
is. Well,
Okay.
I mean, it's part of life. So
Right. But do you think you need to tell people to do that?
absolutely.
Okay.
You know what happens when people don't have it?
They get
They're-
grouchy. Guys get grouchy.
Grumpy. They get anxiety, and some of them going like, "Oh man,
I don't want to live
depression."
anymore.
So, seriously speaking, an intimate sexual life is very important because when you bond with your partner, oxytocin is what makes you bond with that partner, and it gives you that euphoric feeling, which segues into another hormone that is happy hormone, dopamine. So dopamine is the pleasure achieving type of hormone that you get when you do something that rewards you with a good warm feeling. Now, we have to be careful with that one because that's the same one that people who abuse drugs.
That's what I was going to say. Don't have too much dopamine,
Well,
because then you've just doped up.
It is nearly impossible to produce too much dopamine on your own because you're doing the things that are rewarding.
You need help to have dopamine.
And that's not the type of help we want, okay?
No.
That would be, abusing drugs.
Right. So don't do drugs, kids.
But what you want to do is you do want to make sure that you accomplish the things that you were set out to do, which is, did you do your exercises today?
Yes.
Perfect. Did you write them down?
No.
You haven't written them down yet, huh?
Not today.
Okay, so now let's say if you write down that you're going to write down your stuff,
Yeah, I'm supposed
it's
to.
going to help you achieve them. And then when you do get it done, dopamine is produced.
Right.
It says, hey, I did this.
I did this. I'm so proud of myself.
Correct. And it really is going to be one of your most, happy producing feelings because you get that sense of accomplishment.
Okay.
So it is a neurotransmitter. It's produced by your brain. Okay.
So what you're saying is, in order to obtain a level of mental health, we need all the 4 factors.
Yeah.
We need to
But
have
we haven't-
happiness, sleep, longevity, social interaction.
I'm going to give you the list. Okay.
What else do you want?
Absolutely. But I really wanted to touch up on dopamine.
Okay.
Okay. So it's the feel good neurotransmitter, right?
What about dopamine? Like what? Do you
It's the
need to
pleasure
tell us
reward
about this?
system
Okay.
that makes people want to repeat that behavior.
Okay.
So that's why I want you to write the stuff down. Because when you wrote it down and then you feel accomplished, you're going to want to repeat it.
Okay, that's regarding exercise.
No, it's regarding anything.
You want me to write everything down?
Well,
what the hell do you want me to write down?
Well, what are your goals in life?
Oh, you said
Not
now we're
just
going to goals.
exercise?
Okay, so you want me to write my whole life? You want me to write a diary?
Hey, there you go. It's great. It's pretty smart because actually keeping a diary helps you maintain mind wellness.
Okay.
Okay. So now
Okay. But
this is part of dopamine, memory, focus, and attention, and it helps controlling of physical activity. So again, exercise. You want
Okay.
dopamine will be accomplished by doing some exercise. Accomplished meaning your brain will produce it. Overall physical and mental well-being. Okay, natural ways to increase and maintain dopamine levels. Regular exercise, eat protein, especially proteins that have tyrosine. Tyrosine is an amino acid. Let's not geek out too much, but tyrosine is needed in order for your brain to produce
okay, what
dopamine.
foods are tyrosine?
Okay, so I knew you were going to ask me that. Eggs,
Eggs, avocado,
turkey, beef, legumes, etc. So
beans.
proteins.
Okay, so we eat protein. Is this? We're still talking about mental health, so we need to
all
eat
this.
proteins in order.
Anything that we mentioned today, it's helping you maintain.
So tomorrow I'm taking a mental health day. I'm going to
Do
eat
it.
protein. I'm going to exercise.
Right.
I'm going to socialize.
Correct. You're going to have, spend some, quality time with your children and your parents, and if you get to talk to your girlfriends too. So
Right. Okay.
now, one of the things you want to stay away, not too much of it, is saturated fats.
Okay.
Specifically for dopamine
And
because
what
they
are
kind of
saturated
inhibit it.
fats?
Well, those are like,
Cookies.
fats that you get from I don't
Crap.
want to say this, but like dairy products and too much, animal fat, those are the ones that I'm talking about.
Okay.
And bad oils.
So you're trying to
Okay.
say stick to a leaner diet.
Well, yeah, in moderation. I want you to eat red meat too, but in
Yes.
moderation. So
What about meditation?
But well, meditation is good, but let me finish on this.
What are you finishing on?
Your 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 gut health is totally related to your mental health.
Right.
Now,
If your gut's not feeling good, you're not feeling good.
well, it's not just that, but there are parts of your diet that feed good mood type of responses. Dark chocolate is well known.
Must integrate dark chocolate to diet.
That's just one of them. But in order to eat something that feeds your good mood,
Right.
you want probiotics. You want
Probiotics.
fermented foods.
Kimchi.
Because kimchi is one of them. So kombucha,
Kombucha.
is another one. But what it's this gut health, good bacteria in your intestines. Actually, there is a link with one of the main nerves in your. It's called cranial nerve number 10, or vagus nerve, not Vegas, Vagus.
Vagus
Vagus.
Vagus
Okay,
nerve.
and that's the one that allows all the functions that are automatically done in your body without you
Okay.
thinking about it, like your heartbeat, your digestion, your breathing. Okay, so the vagal intestinal connection, it's well known to link moods,
Okay.
good moods and not such a good mood. Okay, so if you're feeding your body the wrong type
Right.
of bacteria in your gut,
Then you're going to be grumpy.
and dopamine is going to be not too happy, and then there's another one, serotonin.
Okay,
Serotonin.
serotonin.
It's produced 90% is in your intestinal walls. 10% is produced by your brain.
So this next one, what does that mean? How do we rise to those levels?
Of what?
Well, we discussed that we have to have protein, and now,
Well, yeah.
now you said we need.
But specifically, I was talking about dopamine because protein has tyrosine,
Right.
And tyrosine is part of the production of. It's needed in order to produce dopamine.
And then
So,
you said probiotics.
probiotics
So we also
too,
have to have
right?
probiotics.
Yeah.
And so this is the way to obtain a nice level of a mental state.
Well, it's one of them. It's just not just one or two of them. All these four that
Right.
were mentioned, hormones, happiness hormones, need to be in combination.
Then
We need
we're
to
just
keep a
gonna be
balance.
like,
Yeah, you will maintain a pretty much. Most people want to be happy and
Right.
are happy.
Yeah.
So, bottom line, if you can't eat all these good things, then talk, and I suggest this, talk to your healthcare provider to see if the following supplements that I'm going to give you are okay for you. Okay? So
what supplements?
B6,
B6,
B3, niacin.
B3.
And then you want to have obviously some of the probiotics. The probiotics are, if you're not eating fermented foods and you need to supplement with probiotics, you want live probiotics that when you take them, like in capsules and stuff. Now I'm talking
Right.
about supplementation above 5 billion count. Okay, per capsule.
Okay.
Oh, there's
So if you just go to the store, what is a simple way to look for a B3 and a B6? Do they come together or is it separate?
You can buy them on a B complex.
Okay, B complex.
That's what I'm saying is consulting with your healthcare provider in order to see what levels.
Okay.
Because what levels do you have in your bloodstream if you're deficient with them? Iron is one of them that
Right.
you also want to have. So
Iron. What about vitamin C?
vitamin C is always good, but for dopamine
Okay.
production, you want iron,
Iron.
B6, B3. You want to make sure that your blood work with your doctor or your healthcare provider says, yes, you're low on this, you're blah, blah, blah. B complex vitamins are water soluble, which means you don't hold them in your body.
So you need
They're-
to take them with
you-
oils?
No, that's fat. That's fat soluble vitamins. Those are A, D, E, and K. B and C's are basically water soluble. Which
so
means
how
that
do
you-
we get them into our body and get them to dissolve and stay? Just
Well,
drink
you-
them with water?
You eat them, hopefully.
And that's it?
Supplementation. Iron you get from iron, containing foods like from green leafy vegetables. Also,
Right.
you in the B6 and the B complex, you get them from meats, and that's why the proteins are part of it.
Okay.
That's what I was saying is naturally we want to ingest them by having a balanced diet and having whole foods rather than processed
Would
stuff.
you say pretty much the general populace, everybody needs to be taking supplements just to add?
I don't think that that supplements. I don't want to give the idea that
Yes or
that-
no? Come on.
yes and no.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
because
in general.
some things we don't. We have taste, and people don't. Some people don't eat vegetables.
Right. So,
So you
if
wanna
they have a good diet with
Right.
a lot of vegetables and fruits, then maybe they don't need as much supplementation.
Correct.
But if their diet is lacking, then for sure they need.
Here's my suggestion: talk to your healthcare provider and have blood work done to see what you
Okay.
are or may be deficient from. The
Okay.
suggestion that your healthcare provider may give you is increase the ingestion of these and these and these natural foods.
Right.
If that's impossible, then they can recommend some supplementations in the form of liquids or capsules or whatever.
What about
I'd much rather
cod liver oil and
you come up with some stuff sometime.
We're going all hippie now.
Here we go. Serotonin. I told you, 90% of it from your gut,
Okay,
the
gut.
intestinal lining. 10% comes from your brain. Also, it is a neurotransmitter. So we keep throwing that word out. Let's just bring,
Okay,
define
sum it up.
The neurotransmitter is basically a substance that is produced in your brain. Well, in this case, 90% of serotonin is in your intestine, 10% in your brain.
So are we
But
talking
it
brain
transmits a message.
Okay.
These guys are hormones too, so that's why they call them a hormone. And some of them act as a neurotransmitter, and the other ones act as a hormone. So we're not going to go geek on that
We're
way.
not going to geek. Are
No.
we talking about brain or guts again?
Serotonin, 90% in your gut,
Serotonin.
10% your brain.
Okay.
So
So-
if it's in your gut, what do you want to do? You want to eat something that gives you levels of that.
And those foods are?
Eggs, chicken, fish, turkey.
Okay, so those are the proteins.
Those are guys that are full of tryptophan. Remember tryptophan, right?
Tryptophan.
Okay. So tryptophan is seen in cheese, eggs, turkey, fish.
Protein again.
Exactly.
Protein.
And you want to have those on a
Okay.
regular basis. So you do want to have, a good,
So we want to have a
wholesome
balanced
food.
diet of protein, which are meats, and then fats
Good fats.
Good
Correct.
fats.
You want to have seeds too.
and probiotics
Correct.
and dark chocolate.
And exercise and sunlight.
You
Okay.
didn't bring up sunlight, so sunlight is super important. Definitely, when
Absolutely.
we're exercising, maybe we should exercise in the sunlight.
That's the sunlight is. I was saving that one for the serotonin because the sunlight. We need sunlight in order to set our circadian rhythm, meaning that cycle of our brain that gives us the ability to stay awake during the day and then slowly come down at night, and then you produce melatonin. You start yawning.
So we need sun in order to sleep.
Correct. Because it sets your cycle in your brain.
Okay.
Ultraviolet rays from the sun produce an effect in your brain that creates that cycle. It says when the morning comes up, your eyes open. Your there you go. Your eyes open
I'm awake.
in the morning because
Okay.
that sunlight is
Right.
actually penetrating your
And that's
eyelids.
why people are so happy in the sunlight. You know how people,
Absolutely.
oh, it's sunshine.
By the way, we suggest 15 to 20 minutes of sunlight a day.
Right.
Make sure that you take all the precautions that not to be overexposed to sun, because basically there's dangers with cancer and all that stuff that ultraviolet rays have a cumulative effect, and they can give you some type of skin problems. So
So
The sunlight,
Get in the sun.
absolutely. Get in the sun. 15 to 20 minutes a
15
day
to
is
20
good.
minutes minimum.
Protect yourself, obviously, depending on what time of the day. I usually like to have or recommend this. In the morning, the sun has a different angle that it reaches
Right.
the earth, right? As it start going the day, it goes to, noon.
So you like
That's
the
hardest.
intense sun, or you like the more mild?
I like it that for you to get all kinds of exposures. The
Okay.
morning one, the midday one, the mid-afternoon one, and then at the end of the day, sunset. Because that spectrum of light is what's going to help your circadian rhythm be set. In
Right.
other words, it's telling your brain, oh, sunlight's going down. Guess what? It's
That's right, it's
time
happy
to
hour.
rest. There you go. It's time to rest. It's time
Yes.
to start producing that melatonin. Eventually, you get to that point that you're tired, and then you're going to go to sleep. Hopefully, get those minimum of 6 hours of sleep.
Preferably
6,
eight.
8. Correct. As we age, that changes, but that's another video.
Okay.
So we've discussed oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine,
are
and
these
now we're gonna do
hormones? Are these 4 hormones?
these. We're gonna do their last one, which
Okay.
is the endorphins.
Endorphins.
So, an endorphin is a hormone that acts as a neurotransmitter. Okay, so your brain produces in an area that is very important. It's produced by the hypothalamus and then secreted by the pituitary gland. That's the master gland. So this endorphins, it's a mood booster and a pain reliever.
Pain reliever.
Absolutely. Have you heard of marathon runners hitting the wall that they've been running for a certain amount of time and they can, they're in pain, and then all of a sudden,
I know their
boom,
knees
they
are
hit the
hurting.
wall and they get a burst of
second
energy.
dose. Yeah.
That's the endorphins. In order to stimulate the production of endorphins like that in an exercise project such as running a marathon, and I'm not saying that you need to go run a marathon every day, of course, but
So you're saying
it's not
pushing
stimulant.
yourself a little bit. This is besides exercise. Pushing yourself to
Yeah,
do something
yeah.
a
When
little
you do
extra.
exercise, make sure that it's okay for you to exercise. Talk to your healthcare provider about that. I don't want you to go, all out and then you're not supposed to. But I was just giving the example of the pain relieving properties of endorphins. And it's well known and documented in long distance runners.
Okay.
Once they hit that time or exposure of time that shows, hey, my body cannot have it anymore, cannot handle it anymore, it produces the endorphin. It gives a pain killing effect.
Okay.
All right?
So what I'm hearing today is that there are 4 makeups of how to have a stabilized mental state. The 4 that you just brought up.
Okay, so there are 4 hormones, neurotransmitters that keep you happy. And that's what we want you to know is
Okay.
that you want these happy feeling hormones being produced normally,
Right.
steadily,
And
to
daily.
maintain an even keel production of these feelings of well-being. So that's what we want you to take away from this. And the things that you can do for all of them are exercise. You want to sleep enough time, minimum of 6, go to 8 hours a day. You want to be sure that you're
Social.
exposed to sunlight.
Sunlight.
And then you want to go to social. The
Social.
social is actually very, very important because we
Social.
have the interaction. And not just with humans. You know,
With my
one of the things.
doggies.
There you go. So if you don't have that
Get a puppy.
family of friends, get a
Get
pet.
a puppy.
Get a pet. Not necessarily just a
Okay,
puppy.
get a small ox, whatever.
So you want to make sure that you have a pet if you don't have the social interaction.
or you
that
can find
have.
a human and make him a pet.
There you go. Okay. So now I know we mentioned exercise, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how are you doing in your? Give us an update.
Okay. Well, Okay, so last time you told me that I have to go against the activities of daily life. Is that what you called it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Close enough.
Close enough.
ADLs, activities of
ADLs.
daily living.
Living. Okay.
And I don't want you to go against them. I want you to add exercise beyond that.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I can't just, if I'm used to walking, say half an hour with the dogs,
That's
I
not
have
recognized.
to go beyond.
Beyond, exactly.
Right. So that's what I've been doing. And I haven't been doing it every day because, and I am finding with the kids and a busy schedule and so much to do that it is definitely better to do it before 5 o'clock if I can.
So,
Because at night, then I'm like, there's a lot to do. I have to make dinner. I have to pick up the kids.
I want to tell you something that's actually beneficial for you, because if you do any of those exercises earlier in the day,
Yeah.
we know that the effect of that exercise follows you through the day.
Right.
So you continue to burn calories, and you have the positive effect of it,
Right.
producing endorphins, serotonin, all those things.
And I feel like for a mother, we're so busy. Besides working and kids, if we don't get it done in the day, then it just gets pushed aside.
Okay.
Because-
So bottom line is accommodate that exercise,
Right.
extra exercise that you're talking about, to the times where you are able to do it. Listen to that. She's adapted.
Right.
I think that is excellent idea.
And it's hard because I have to juggle so many things. And I tell the boys, okay, I have to go for half an hour.
Uh-huh.
I'll be back. We track each other so they know where I'm going.
Perfect.
And so now I'm trying to go jogging for half an hour.
Okay.
And then when I get back, I have the workout trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been working out on the trampoline at least 5 or 10 minutes. And I've been eating extra healthy.
Beautiful. So bottom line
I'm
is
healthy anyways.
you are making,
And I'm drinking healthy tequila
beautiful.
with no sugar.
We're not advocating for you to be drinking tequila in order to lose weight or be super healthy, okay? Although
But
that is great.
We do want you to be happy, healthy, and wise. And
But hey, if you
sometimes-
need to drink tequila, make it so it's just a small amount.
Right.
And don't combine it with other stuff.
Right.
Okay?
Do not combine.
So let's wrap it up
Yes. So please send your questions to Ask Dr. Boris TV on Instagram, and we could read your comments, and we might even answer them next week.
Okay, hit us up on PayPal if you want to buy Krissa and Dr. Boris a coffee. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel.
And be happy, be healthy.
And remember, we read your comments, so we might even answer your questions next week.
We might.
We might. So, as you said, be healthy,
Yes, I'm trying.
and well,
happy.
you want, there you go.
Healthy and
Mental
wise.
health right there. Okay, remember, health is wealth. So until the next episode, goodbye.
Thanks for listening to today's podcast. Please like and subscribe and follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Dr. Boris TV.